You're watching eNews Direct. Hello and welcome to it. I'm Duduzile Ramela. Here are the stories we're tracking for you this evening. The economic freedom fighters reject President Jacob Zuma's Nkandla payback proposition. The eThekwini municipality is told to stop recycling graves or face court action. Remember, you can have a say on any of our stories. Do find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct. Our hashtags this evening, Malema and Nkandla payback. And it's that story that dominated headlines today. EFF leader Julius Malema says President Jacob Zuma's offer to pay back some of the Nkandla money is an admission that he's corrupt. The party has rejected Zuma's proposal to pay some of the money spent on the Nkandla upgrades. Malema has also taken aim at the controversial Gupta family.
Yet another no to President Jacob Zuma's proposed repayment plan.
We're not going to agree to any settlement which doesn't reaffirm the powers of the public protector. President Zuma should agree in the settlement that by failing to implement the remedial action of the public protector, he was in breach of the Constitution and the oath of office.
But the president isn't the only one in the firing line. The EFF also wants the Gupta family out of the country.
It's a battle, it's a war against Guptas.
And any media groups owned by the controversial family.
We're going for the enemy. We cannot guarantee the safety of those who are working in those studios and printing factories of the new age and ANN7.
It's prompted accusations that the EFF leader is inciting violence.
It's all peaceful. Look at what we're doing now. Gupta journalists, please don't come to our events. It's so peaceful. So peaceful.
It's not the first time Malema has banned media.
Come out, go out.
This infamous incident took place in 2010.
You bloody agent.
Malema is also planning to use next week's legal showdown to march against the Guptas and the president, who he's collectively dubbed the Zuptas. Bongiwe Khumalo, Johannesburg.
Well, all parties involved in the Nkandla case have until tomorrow afternoon to inform the Constitutional Court if they've reached a settlement. That's according to a letter from the court. It comes after President Jacob Zuma made a proposal to pay back a portion of the money spent on his Nkandla homestead. The case, which aims to test if the public protector's recommendations in the matter are indeed binding or not, is to be heard next Tuesday. However, it's unlikely the parties will reach any form of settlement, as the DA and EFF have already rejected the president's proposal. The eThekwini municipality has been given an ultimatum: stop recycling graves with immediate effect, or we'll take you to the Equality Court. That's the warning from the Commission for Cultural and Religious Rights.
A stern rebuke to city officials.
The reuse of graves in eThekwini municipality is a worrying situation because it is totally unconstitutional to trample people's cultural beliefs.
But the municipality says it's already reached its limit. eThekwini has over 500,000 graves.
If we were to continue to provide the manner in which we do, it's therefore foreseeable that the whole of the city will be turned into one very big cemetery, because we'll keep on providing and providing.
Municipal bosses say cultural rights have to be balanced against other needs.
We require it for human settlement. The same land, we require it for business use, industrial use, and the same land we require to inter our loved ones.
But the Commission isn't buying that argument.
If you'll be recycling this week and next week and the following week, we'll be left with very little choice but to take it to court.
In response, the municipality is promising to review its policies. Skushangase, Durban.
Parents in Port Elizabeth's northern areas have taken their frustration to the streets. They blocked roads with burning tires and rocks, preventing teachers from returning to school. It's been a month since they closed 52 schools in protest over teacher shortages. The action comes after Education MEC Mandla Makupula instructed principals and teachers to return to school, even if there are no pupils. Parents are angry because the department only filled half of over 200 teaching posts. They say the department is not taking their demands seriously. A parents' meeting is planned for tonight to discuss the way forward. Now, last year we brought you the story of a school principal beating pupils with a pipe. The Gauteng Education MEC promised the principal would be removed immediately, but that didn't happen until we followed up with the department.
Morris Kwebu asks himself every day if he did the right thing. The former school security guard shot this video. The Ratsepo High School principal hitting pupils with a pipe from a fire extinguisher. The girls had to put their hands on the desks and you'd hit them with the pipe, while the boys had to bend over the table and you'd hit them on their buttocks. He would slap students for making even the smallest mistakes.
The principal said to me, "You can report me to the highest office in the education department. Nothing will happen to me."
Is the principal?
Yes. When we showed the footage to the Gauteng Education MEC, Panyaza Lesufi, he promised swift action.
Principal, let's kiss this job goodbye. That's the end.
However, when we visited the school earlier this week, the principal was still employed. We pressured the department for comment. Then on Thursday, we were told he had been suspended with immediate effect.
It might have taken long because there are laws in this country. You can't just override those particular laws.
Lesufi is unable to confirm if the principal will be removed permanently. Zikhona Chona, Temba in Hammanskraal.
Moving beyond our borders now, and no clarity yet on the cause of a mid-air explosion that forced a passenger plane to return to Mogadishu for an emergency landing. In the face of bomb claims, Somali officials are prepared to say only that an investigation is underway. A badly burnt body found north of Mogadishu is thought to be the passenger reportedly sucked out of the Dala Airlines Airbus. Billions of dollars have been pledged on the first day of a donor conference for Syria. The aim is to raise $9 billion to help people affected by the country's 5-year-old war. It's the fourth event of its kind, focusing on education and jobs for the 4.6 million Syrian refugees in neighboring countries. Hours earlier, the UN announced the suspension of Syria peace talks taking place in Geneva. They're expected to resume on the 25th. A UN panel has ruled that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been arbitrarily detained. Assange took refuge in London's Ecuadorian embassy in 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden over sex assault claims. The panel has formal influence over the British and Swedish authorities. Let's see what's topical on social media. Gareth Edwards, and it was Julius Malema dominating headlines today.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a hashtag dominate social media the way this man's name has today. Really only one name dominating Twitter and Facebook. Julius Malema, his party has rejected President Zuma's offer to pay back some of the money spent on the Nkandla upgrades. The EFF leader has also taken aim at the controversial Gupta family and the media organizations that they own. If you haven't had a chance to see the full briefing yet by the EFF leader, you can go to enca.com. That's what you're looking for from beginning to end. Also, it was hashtag World Cancer Day, and research now shows, it's good news, that deaths have decreased by 10% in the last decade, but liver cancer cases have increased. You're wondering the cause, or because of the alcohol and the amount of alcohol that you and I are drinking at the moment. Perhaps time to cut down. For more on those stories, you can always go and follow us on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook. And if you're not on social media at all, you can also go to our website. It is enca.com/ direct. When you get there, this is what you're looking for. We have broken down the EFF press briefing bit by bit. Gupta, SARS and everything else that Julius Malema had to talk about.
Welcome back. Money Matters now, and the application by Eskom for a 16.6% tariff increase has been rejected out of hand by several major industry players. The National Energy Regulator is holding its last round of public hearings as power giant Eskom tries to recover costs of 22.8 billion rand for the 2013-2014 financial year.
Eskom has admitted it did not foresee a dramatic drop in economic growth when it calculated electricity prices in the original budget.
The gap is approximately 15 cents per kilowatt hour to the base price. This shortfall cannot be saved.
Business leaders are having none of it. They warn that further price increases will wreak havoc on a struggling economy.
We are in the midst of the worst drought that we have seen in decades. Already commodity prices are sky high, and this is already filtered through to the consumer. So additional electricity price increases are likely to worsen that situation, not just for farmers, but also for agro-processors and retailers who will need to pass that cost on further to the consumer.
With mining in crisis, it's feared an increase will cause more damage.
A lot of mining companies will not survive it, and I'm talking about smaller ones, and large mining companies will close operations, retrench people.
Business rights watchdog AfriBusiness says the power utility hasn't even followed proper procedure as laid down by NERSA. If an increase is approved, consumers who get power directly from Eskom will pay more from the 1st of April. Households supplied by municipalities will pay more from the 1st of July. Gerald Pretorius, Midrand.
All right, let's see how the markets performed today. All right, let's check in with the Weather Center now.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather Centre on Thursday, where we can expect a sunny and sizzling hot day over the western part of South Africa on Friday. We're forecasting some morning light rain along the east coast with mostly cloudy and cooler conditions in the northeast and the possibility of thundershowers. We'll see evening fog move in along the west coast with quite a windy day over the extreme southern part of South Africa. You'll see a drier day for KwaZulu-Natal other than the possibility of morning rain for Durban, Richards Bay and Pietermaritzburg. You'll see most maximum temperatures peaking in the mid-20s. It'll be a dry and warmer day for the Eastern Cape with highs in the mid-20s along the coast, 30 for Graaff-Reinet and Aliwal North, both with a sunny forecast. Sizzling hot, particularly over the interior part of the Western Cape with highs in the middle and upper 30s, 34 degrees for Cape Town, a toasty 42 for Vredendal, and a sunny afternoon for George at 27. Fine and hot as we head towards the Northern Cape, with some evening fog expected along the west coast. A dry day for the Free State, 31 degrees for Bloemfontein and Welkom, with some cloud over the eastern parts. Thundershowers are expected over the extreme eastern part of the northwest, with highs still in the mid-30s for Vryburg, Mahikeng and Zeerust. You'll see a cooler day for Limpopo with mostly cloudy conditions and the possibility of thundershowers, 23 degrees for Zanin. A similar day for Mpumalanga with a cooler forecast and mostly cloudy conditions with thundershowers, only 24 degrees for Emalahleni and Secunda. You'll also see cooler weather for Gauteng, 27 degrees for Vereeniging and Pretoria, and Johannesburg and Soweto expecting highs in the mid-20s with the possibility of isolated thundershowers. It'll be a warm Saturday along South Africa's coastline with the possibility of thundershowers over the extreme northeastern parts, and you'll see those thundershowers over the extreme northeastern parts on Sunday with a warmer day over the interior, but we're expecting some rain along the east coast as well as the southern part of the Western Cape. That's all from the Weather Centre for now. Have a lovely night.
Here's what's coming up after the break.
Guys, I've got a beautiful surprise for you today.
Mulina Makaya, Kamalam Gunachoka Mangai. ndihleli nosisi Nontobeko Sibisi.
We catch up with artist Nathi Mankai for a preview of his new single. Welcome back. Time for a sneak preview of Nathi Mankai's latest single off his upcoming second album.
His debut release was a hit with listeners, selling double platinum in its first month. Never mind the 2.9 million downloads to date.
And our lucky reporter Nontobeko Sibisi caught up with the hitmaker.
Nathi Mankai's debut album, Buyele Kaya, earned him Best World Album 2015 on Apple iTunes. It sold more than 154,000 copies, 5 times a platinum status.
Mawubuka i-success ya Nomvula ne-album yakho yokuqala. Ubukhola ukuthi bengenzeka izinto ezifana njengalezi kuwena.
Bendingazi but okokuqala mina ndingulo muntu mose beke wabanjwa ne. Okubanjwa kwami ndabaleka like ndahlala ndingumuntu ofunayo ubalekayo yabo. But ndiye nathatha isigqibo sobana ngaba mandizibuyisele phakathi etrongweni khona ukuze ndizokwenza lento ndiyenzayo.
During the festive season, he performed on over 50 stages. He's now in studio working on his new single, Nhliziyo Yami, with award-winning producer Bongani Mutlaole.
Ndiyathanda uthetha ngenhliziyo kwengoma zami. Ukulunga kwakho nokungcola kwakho sikuva ngokuthetha kwakho but sibona inhliziyo yakho ngokuthetha kwakho yabo.
So, one single down and loads more to come from his debut album. Nathi says he's hoping to reach international audiences, starting with a 3-month tour to the Netherlands.
Ingoma esebenza phezu kwayo apha studio, ingoma ezawuphuma soon, abantu mabayilindele, ithi inhliziyo yami, ithi imnandi inhliziyo yami. So, yeah.
Nontobeko Sibisi, Johannesburg.
A reminder of the day's top stories before we say goodbye. The economic freedom fighters reject President Jacob Zuma's Nkandla payback proposition. The eThekwini municipality is told to stop recycling graves or face court action. And that's a wrap from the eNews Direct team.
Your favorite drama Rhythm City's up next. We're back tomorrow.
Remember, you can have your say as well. Do email us at enewsdirect@etv.co.za.
You can just chat to us on Twitter and Facebook. And the handle you need is @eNewsDirect.
Indeed, until tomorrow evening, have a fantastic night. Bye-bye.